Man, was this set worth the wait. I've been wanting a UCS scale Black Pearl ever since 2011, to the point where I even tried to build one myself. So I was pretty stoked when LEGO finally revealed the 10365 Captain Jack Sparrow's pirate ship? What? Well, name aside, I think the set really does live up to the hype. I mean, it's got a great play feature, it's almost minifigure scale, and it's got a whole bunch of new Pirates minifigures to boot. It's easily within one of my top 10 sets of all time. But that doesn't mean everything's perfect. From odd details, missing features, and distracting colors, there's plenty of things we need to fix to really make her seaworthy. Hello everyone, I'm Minifig1210, back with the latest edition of 6 Easy Mods. Look, if you're gonna get one thing right when you're designing a ship, it's gotta be the bow. It's really the face for the whole thing, and you wanna make sure that looks cool. Unfortunately, LEGO kinda fumbled this one. Now technically in the films, the Black Pearl's figurehead is this very pale copper color, but the way LEGO has done it here makes it look like the Statue of Liberty versus that very pale, almost gray looking figurehead from the movie. It's just way too saturated, and to top it off, the dove the angel is holding isn't even taking flight. Now of course this fix is going to be incredibly easy. All you have to do is knock off the original figurehead and replace it with the Weeping Angel figure from Doctor Who, and then onto the outstretched arm attach this 1x1 pin holder piece, along with this crow piece from the Lone Ranger theme. With that in place, I think we have a much better rendition of the figurehead of the Black Pearl. Of course, the Weeping Angel is a $40 minifigure, and this set's already expensive enough. So I've linked some more generic parts in the part list down below, so that way you can mix and match and create a figurehead that does the same thing without breaking the bank. Now before we move on to some of the bigger issues at the back, there's one last thing at the front that I want to fix, and that's got to do with the lifeboat. Look, the piece is cool and all to have, but if you want to take it off and free up some deck space, you're left with these red pins that are very distracting on an otherwise black ship. Now this is pretty simple to fix, because LEGO makes these dark bluish gray pin pieces that are pretty similar to the red ones. So you can just swap them in and it's gonna blend in much better. And now that the front of the ship's all fixed up, it's time to move on to this back section. This cabin deck or top deck, what is this called actually? No way. Now jokes aside, there's seriously a lot wrong with the Pearl's poop deck. You see, LEGO left this completely blank. Whereas in the actual ship, it's mostly taken up by this triangular skylight and a ship's bell. And then on the back 3 lamps, there's this ornate Poseidon trident design that we see pretty often in the movie that LEGO's just omitted completely. And with all these extra details, the back of the Pearl really just feels kind of empty. But as always, a few easy mods is gonna fix this right up.
This is where the fun begins.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Alright, let's start with the skylight. Start with 2 1x2 black slopes back to back like this, with a 1x1 cheese slope in black on top of each. Now off to the side, start with a 1x2 hinge brick like this, with 2 1x2 trans brown plates on top. Then cap it off with a 1x2 slope. Build 3 more identical to this, and then place them onto the deck like this, where you can then fold them in. After that, you can cap off the build with another set of 1x2 slopes with 2 1x1 cheese slopes on top. As for the ship's bell, it's also going to be a pretty simple build. Start with 2 1x1 bricks in black 2 studs apart like this, followed by 2 1x1 plates right on top each. Then add 2 1x1 Technic bricks to each of the posts like this, with a light bluish gray Technic pin in each of them. Then you can connect them with a 4 long bar piece through the Technic pins like this. After that, you can add a 1x1 clip, a truncated dome, and a 2x2 dish piece attached to the bar like so to create the ship's bell. Finally, cap this all off with a 1x4 curve piece, and then place this whole bell assembly right onto the deck. And now that the deck is all fixed up, we can move on to the back sculptures. Start by removing these 2 1x2 slopes here, and replacing them with 2 1x1 bar handle plates on either side like this, with a 1x2 black plate in the center. You can then reattach the 2 1x2 slopes onto the set like this. After that, you can attach 2 of the newer dark bluish gray skeleton arms onto the bars like so. From there, you can attach a claw clip piece to each of the skeleton arms, and then cap it all off with a set of Wolverine claws. And once you finish that, I think the Black Pearl is almost as good as it gets. But I'm not just ready to say it's perfect just yet, because there's one area I think we need to fix up, and that's the minifigures. Look, the new lineup of minifigures are looking really great, but there's just 2 of them in particular that I just don't think are up to par, and that's of course Jack and Elizabeth. Look, for some reason LEGO decided to put them in these split-second costumes from the beginning and end of the movie, which is cool to have since it's new, but with all the other minifigures in their main hero costumes, I would have liked to have seen him in the main poster costumes that we see, or at the very least give Jack his sword belt that literally every other minifigure has. But those aren't the biggest issues I have with these figures. Let's start with Elizabeth. Once again, LEGO reuses the Jyn Erso face print, which, for a $380 set with a whole bunch of new face prints, feels pretty disappointing, especially for one of the main characters. Fortunately, this is a pretty easy issue to fix, as you can just swap out the face print for the original one from 2011. And frankly, I'd just swap out the figure completely, because that original one, especially with that new medallion piece, just fits so much better with Curse of the Black Pearl than the niche one LEGO gave us today. And with that fixed up, we can move on to the captain himself. And the biggest issue I'm having with Jack Sparrow here is that new hair hat piece LEGO gave us. Look, it's really shiny and the colors are really bright, which is the exact opposite on how this looks in the movie. The hat is supposed to be this dark leather, and the bandanas are these dark red. Now the funny thing about this is you can just swap out this hair hat piece with the original one from 2011, and it doesn't suffer any of these new issues. And the same thing's true with the torso too. All you have to do is swap out the torso with one of the original blue ones, and it's gonna line up pretty seamlessly. And then for a little extra detail, you can just swap out the old figure's hands for the new ones, so that way the skin tones match pretty perfectly. And while you're at it, I've included the parts for Jack's captain coat as well, and the skeleton head print in the part list down below, if you really want to go and make the ultimate figure. But with that, I think the Black Pearl is now looking finally seaworthy for her captain. With less distracting colors, more accurate details, and a minifigure roster that better matches the film, I think this set has finally earned being called the Black Pearl versus just another LEGO pirate ship. But with that, I'd like to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, oh, right. With a 1x1 translucent cylinder piece and then a 1x1 bar pin holder piece, you can attach them like this and finish off the Black Pearl with its ever important jar of dirt. But with that, I'd like to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, and if you want to see more content in the future, subscribe and hit the bell, and I'll keep it coming for you. Until next time, keep on building.
Come to negotiate, eh? Have you slimy git? Look what I got. I got a jar of dirt, I got a jar of dirt, and guess what's inside it?